sky. Well, you cry out and you don't know why. Come on now, let your feet fly. Come on now, let's go for a ride. Come on now, let your feet fly.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the barbershop. Look who we got on the couch. Brice. On Wednesday, that's Izzy, that's Brice.
Tabish, here we go. Can't forget that.
Yep.
So you've been on the road or on the island, haven't you?
Yeah, we were on the island for all of the last 2 months, and
Wow, 2 months of it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's how my memory is of it.
Played Port Alberni?
We didn't do actually funny enough for drummers from Port Alberni, the one that we have over there.
Is it Bonnie?
No, it's Art Van Volsen.
Oh.
Yeah. So we've been playing mainly the Comox Valley and all that stuff, and then in July we were out in New Brunswick. So we'll set up shop and
Yeah, you're back east for a while.
exactly. Yeah, we were there for all of July. So
Your bandmates from there?
Peggy's from there.
Peggy's
The bass
from
part.
there,
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were just checking things while we're doing. Don't worry, folks. We do this all the time. Yeah. So we were. So you did like 2 months. Whereabouts at Comox? Like Comox.
Courtney, Cumberland, all the C.
The C words.
Exactly. Yeah, anything you can think
The
of.
key of C.
Exactly. Yeah. and then to cheat a little bit, you get the C sound in Coquitlam. Or Quince, Qualicum, that's what I meant to say.
Qualicum, yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
Solano.
Exactly.
The Prince.
C sounds without being C.
Did you Victoria?
No Victoria this time, although we did that last year sometime. We played Herman's Upstairs.
Yeah,
That-
and I hear things are getting there's more music shit going down in Victoria. Right
Yeah,
now.
and-
it's sort of growing, isn't it?
It is, because there's the upstairs, which is like kind of like a club almost, and then there's the jazz club downstairs.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the upstairs is gonna stick around much longer. I've heard things I don't
Wow,
want.
too bad, because Herman's is like
It's awesome. It's really
like
cool.
Herman's is like legendary. now.
Absolutely, it is,
yeah.
yeah.
In Victoria.
Victoria's always had a weird thing though too. Like their underground scene is just bananas, right?
Yeah.
Like all those jazz bands, like all the punk bands and stuff like that.
Well, if you walk downtown, you'll see I wish I could think of the name of the place. There's a place. It's like an Irish pub almost. It's downtown Victoria. That place is very cool. I'm blanking on the name.
I know you are. I am too. I've been there. I've been in there.
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's a very nice place.
Yeah.
And people have a great time in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I've noticed that. I was going through some magazines, like promo music magazines the other day.
Yeah.
And Victoria was just, it's like the ads for like the bar scene is like huge. Live music too, like live music, like which you don't see that here in Vancouver. There was Lucky's, there was the Phoenix Room, there was like all these places, and I'm just going like, what's happening? Like over there, it seems like they're right into it, and over here it's not happening the same, right? The island is more live, isn't it? 'Cause you guys seem to be over there a fair bit.
So I moved here like 15 years ago, and I came here because this was the place for live music, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I slowly watched that completely like you saw Vancouver go like this a little bit, and COVID didn't help. But then somehow the island, I just see more and more places like in the Comox Valley area in particular. So we set up shop in Campbell River because I'm from there.
Yes.
My parents live there, right? So.
Yeah, Campbell River's great.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of music? What's happening in music? There used to be a bar in I don't know if it's there, probably not there anymore. People's Cabaret.
People's became. Campbell River historians might hate me for getting this wrong, but I believe People's now is the Voodoo Lounge.
Is it still happening?
And it was when I was growing up even. So, is it still happening? It was happening when I was in school, and I used to play there, and then. It's still the Voodoo Lounge, but really nothing happens there. It's like they won't do anything with it, but they won't sell it either. It's just which is one of those things where you go. Okay.
I mean, I played there like when the original people owned it, and
when it was still People's.
When it was People's, and what's her name? Joan, her husband bought it for her. Actually, he was a fisherman,
right?
And he bought the bar for her.
Yeah.
Huge bar, like huge. Ash. You should.
Oh, yeah,
check
it's
it out.
great.
The stage is huge. The place is huge, and I got to become really good. Well, I won't get into details. Joan and I became good friends. And,
Yeah.
And Joan's daughter and I became good friends.
Yeah.
I saw that movie, man. It's really short though, so, or only
But
watched
Joan,
15 minutes.
you know, like Joan was great though. You know, like she was this
That's
lady in
so
her.
cute.
She was this lady in her back then. You know, lady in her 30s, 40s, and you know, like she would like promote the shit out of her bar because she would like you'd be in the middle of a couple songs and the second set and you're playing. This is back in the cover days, and we're playing away, and all of a sudden Joan walks on the stage. You know, she's got like all this beer in buckets, right?
Yeah, right.
And everybody's getting a beer in the band.
That's the way, man.
And here you go, folks. It's my sound man the light man put the spotlight on her. Right?
Yeah.
She'd be like, "Look, guys, on sale today. You know, $5.99. You know, back
Drinks
then.
on me, yeah.
Back then, like $2.99. But you know what I mean.
Right.
You know, but the staff was great, right? Like the staff was really good. I became friends with the head manager guy, and it was so cool that like when I would come to town, Harold was his name, and Harold used to like, Joe, come over to my place on Thursday night for dinner, right? And you go over to Harold would he just finished like this October or whatever, September hunting, and he'd have like deer and moose and stuff like or salmon, wild game, right?
Well, salmon around there is like a dime a dozen. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I got a done for that.
Yeah, really good food there, like really
right.
good.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the food was always good, but yeah, I enjoyed playing people's. It was like playing a concert venue, right?
Oh yeah, and I actually when I turned 19, we did our birthday bash, my birthday bash there.
Yeah.
And that was a whole debacle. Like it was insane. And then I think the next day we came to Vancouver and did the sequel to it at the Yale. So I did with the old Yale when it was
The old Yale, yeah.
Yeah. So like it was like we did the Voodoo Lounge when it was kind of like People's.
Yeah.
Not just like it is now.
Yeah.
And then we did the Yale when it was a blues bar. So
Right.
it was kind of a good collision of worlds. It was a perfect timing.
But it's a big bar. I mean, how many seaters? At least two. I think it's at least 250 or something. Easily two, maybe
Absolutely.
three.
Yep.
No, I'm serious. Like a 300 seater.
Big stage too.
Yeah, big,
Yep.
beautiful stage.
Yep.
And 300 seater at least. I mean, when we packed the place.
What is the Wise World, do you think? 250?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be the size of the Wise Hall.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be pretty much like the size of the Wise
Wow,
Hall.
that's a huge
Might be a hair
that's
smaller, but yeah.
fucking
It's just
huge
sitting there.
barn.
It's just sitting there.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
I mean,
thing.
and really good sound in there.
Oh yeah.
And
Built in,
Yeah, they built it all in.
We've been saying week after week that it feels like kids are getting back to it, like playing guitars and getting into. I mean, not
COVID
to be
was a big
complete
boom for
jerk,
that.
but
Yeah.
honest music.
Yeah, of course.
Like people who care.
Well,
and that was one of the big things. That was one of the big things when Izzy was talking about bringing you in.
Right.
I was like, yeah, okay, sure. When you're homeboys, and he's like, no, only music. You live on music.
Yeah, absolutely.
How many of you are there? You know what I mean?
No, there's not a lot of people. When I'm talking
for sure.
about the People's Days,
I've never
they're
not had a
when I'm
job.
talking about People's Days, there was
Izzy's never
musicians
not had a
everywhere,
job.
right? I mean, bars everywhere.
Yeah, dude.
There's action all the time. I mean, you used to have the rock and roll ferry boat, which was like 6 a.m. because all the musicians who from Vancouver were on the island playing.
Oh, yeah, right.
Would catch the 6 o'clock boat.
Yep.
So when you get on and I tell you, back then, in those days, a lot of bands were reformed because people would get on the boat, like, he'd be.
Are we talking about the 80s now? 90s?
Yeah, 80s,
Late 80s, early 90s?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Or even mid 80s sometimes.
Okay.
But like say Brice would be on the boat, you would be on the boat, I'd be on the boat. We all from 3 different bands, right?
Yeah, right.
But all of a sudden, we sit down and have breakfast, and next thing you know, we're leaving our bands and we're putting our own band together. Like it's happening on the boat as you speak, because Brice just decides, fuck those 2 guys over there. Excuse my language. But I've had enough of these guys, right?
Sure.
He keeps making too many mistakes. I want a better band. Ash, you play bass.
Which is off the cuff.
Yeah. Let's do it. And then then you're back in Vancouver. Next thing you know, you're rehearsing with these guys are here playing it again. But the crazy thing then is when you get back on the boat 6 months later, you're watching where Ash is walking. It's like a bad breakup. You're waiting for the next shoe to drop.
Well, speaking of that, so the funny thing is, when we did the 19th birthday thing.
Speaking of that, Paul, you fucking asshole.
When we did my 19th birthday thing, the drummer I had at the time, he came over from Vancouver to do it in Campbell River, but he got food poisoning on the boat.
Oh,
so then he took all that time to come over and was way too sick to do the gig. So he had someone I'd never played with before do the gig, and it was like amazing. Like and it was nothing against Cam; it would have been just as good with him. But it was so funny to like just that sort of like, okay, who do we got sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's not like gigs canceled. You know, you don't do that, right?
I think we've all done
Yeah. No. I mean, so talking about all that, so like Ash said, like I told him, like you're only you and Peg are like, you guys are like the only. I mean, I haven't seen musicians like you guys for 100 years. That's why I like coming to watch you guys play, because you guys are actually still really doing it. There's nothing. There's nothing hardly left, especially in the city. I mean, in the city side.
Sure.
But you guys are grinding it and doing it. And I have nothing. And I've never said this to you, but I have nothing but total respect for you, Big. Like I admire you guys.
Thanks, man.
Because you hung
Likewise.
in. You hung in for so fucking long, and you're still hanging in there.
Yep.
And you guys, and they play every night almost. Like it's just like they, you know, when I last saw them at doing the show at the Princeton on a Sunday night, they, you know, like Peg goes out. We just finished doing a show out, in, you know, Surrey or something. 4 hours. I'm looking at Peg like. The Peg's going, yeah, I'm kind of fried. I says, yeah, I could see. I said, wow. I just went like, I says,
it's the art of autopilot.
Yeah.
Not autopilot, but you know what I mean. It's not just
Yes.
passionate. It's, you know. It's a passionate autopilot. I don't know.
Yeah, I just.
You just got to get up there and go 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then everything that you were talking about before the show is over in your head.
Dude.
And then like Peggy and I were talking about just the other day. It's like, you know, if you feel a little under the weather or something, you won't feel it for the whole gig, and then you'll really feel it after the gig. Your adrenaline and your endorphins and all that stuff.
We
Right?
had a show at the Arts Club on Granville Island with double pneumonia. Fucked. I was fucked right up to the moment I went.
Of course you would, yeah.
2, 3, 4, and then whoa! I had the best hour of my life, and then back to the hospital.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was just listening to Dave Mustaine. He was talking about how Metallica's
everything.
Well, he sure does. He was talking about how there's some big 4 show with Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, and Slayer, and it was at Yankee Stadium. And Dave had to get neck surgery because of all the headbanging he did for years.
Oh, God.
And apparently the Metallica manager was like making fun of him for this. Like he couldn't do the gig because he had to get surgery. So then he apparently was in the hospital, got out of the hospital, flew to the gig, did the gig, knowing that if he made one wrong move in his neck because he wasn't ready to gig, that he would be permanently whatever, right?
Paralyzed.
Did the gig, got back on a plane, went back to the hospital. This is like,
all right, Dave. You're probably watching. you beat me on that one, man.
Yeah, and that wasn't that long ago either. So I mean, 10
looks like a
10 years ago,
corpse.
something like that.
Like he looks like a corpse now.
He sure does.
But you know what he does? Like he just, you know, like funny. He comes up. He came up. Maybe who knows? Maybe we'll be seeing him soon. He came up the other day in a conversation with actually last night with Paul, my guitar player, when we were rehearsing, and he doesn't drink, right, or do any drugs anymore.
Yeah.
He just drinks. He drinks red wine.
That's right. Yep.
And so Paul says he drinks red wine. I said, but you know why? And he goes, why? I says, because he has his own wine vineyard.
Yeah.
Yes.
I said, so no wonder he drinks his own product, right?
Maynard from Tool has his own.
Yep, that's right.
Vineyard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. I mean, that's.
He did
cool.
all.
It's gross because wine's disgusting, but it's cool.
It's pretty
Well, let's not divide the audience here.
If you drink wine, you're disgusting.
No.
Well, that's all the time we have, folks.
This guy gave me. It was Christmas time. All right, I'm gonna out it. I'm gonna tell him what happened. So I'm cutting dude's hair, and it's Christmas. Oh, I brought you this wine. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, thanks, man. That's very cool. whatever, comes back, whatever. You know how it goes. Like a week. Well, you don't know, but typically guys get. You don't know. I don't know either.
I've had a haircut once
because
or
it's
twice.
my job.
Yeah, exactly.
About a month later, dude shows up. He's like, "Hey, man, do you like that wine?" I was like, "I really like that wine. I mixed it with Sprite." Yeah, you didn't think it was cool. Do you see the heartburn, eh?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't like it. I see the heartburn.
Well, being a lifelong Van Halen freak, that guy loved his wine, especially in the early 2000s. And
Which one, Eddie?
Eddie, yeah, he would.
Because I think Dave liked his wine from Colombia.
And replace the word wine with cocaine, but
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But Eddie used to drink Smoking Loon, which is like in current day dollars is like an $18 bottle of wine.
Yeah,
like you're
right.
Eddie Van Halen. What are you?
Yeah, right.
What are you drinking Smoking Loon
A little
for?
bit of night train for you, boys.
If you read Sammy Hagar's book, there's a line in there where Sam rejoined the band and he said something like, Eddie was walking around with the bottle in his hand, drinking right out of it, and his hand goes, "You want a glass for that?" And he goes, "It's in a glass." It's like,
Cool.
That's Eddie. That's Eddie.
So when you're let's talk a bit about like your stuff, like your original stuff. Last time I did a show with you at the Railway.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that
Recently?
no,
Yeah, a couple years ago.
A couple years
Yeah.
ago. And,
But
and-
after the new railway. After
No.
they sold it. Or before they sold it.
no, this is before they sold it.
Before they sold it.
Yeah.
When it was cool.
Yeah, when they had new owners still.
Yeah.
They had new owners in.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
But
it
it was
was-
still
it was
a nice. It was
recognizable,
A really,
yeah.
it was a really nice gig.
Recognizable.
I mean, it was still a nice gig. I mean, it was
Did you
really
have to
nice.
still sign in?
No,
I don't think so. No.
No, we
Nope.
didn't.
That's interesting.
No.
Yeah, that sort of stopped.
Yeah.
But we did that show with you, and it was like I really enjoyed your band because I thought it kind of took me back to like I would say like mid '70s, or not mid '70s. I would say late '60s, early '70s. And I really dug it because that's when I was a kid and I loved all that music at
Yes.
that point in time, right?
Yeah.
And I was saying to Ash earlier, I was saying like when you watch you play, like you remind me of those guitar players, and when you sing that stuff, like your stuff, like it reminds me of that era, right? And even the band has that kind of distinct era about it when you
That's
play,
cool.
and I'm like going, but it's not a throwback because you guys are it has an edge to it that it's modern enough, right?
Hopefully. That's
Yeah,
the thing,
no,
right?
no,
Yeah.
I mean it does.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does. It
Yeah.
does. It doesn't sound like a throwback band.
Yeah, it's you can become a novelty band really quickly, and there's nothing wrong with novelty bands. I'm not even knocking them, but
Yeah.
it's but
Steel Panther?
so it's not Steel Panther, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not Steel Panther. Nowhere near that.
Yeah.
But I love
No,
I love
it
Steel
has
Panther.
it has more of an original. It has not more. It does. It has an original stamp. on it,
Yeah,
right?
There's
It's,
no wink and nudge, I guess
Yes.
is what it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There's no like we're ripping this guy off.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
nothing like
That's
that.
the way Joe explained
Yeah.
it, like in your heart.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
you
It
guys
was
do.
more like that.
That's
I really enjoyed watching because I watched recently. I watched the show you did last summer at the dock. You know,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
We smashed the guitars.
Yeah, or smash the guitar. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that might be a little bit the key.
Did you go to the pawn shop to get it?
Yeah, when I was on one of our Camp River tours, I was looking on Marketplace and I went, "Ooh, a $50 guitar!
Oh,
and it
yeah.
sure is terrible." So, and I played it and I went, "Oh, this is horrible! I love it!" So I bought
Yeah.
it because I had the plan, right? So, I'll
Paul
have no
Stanley
problem
plan.
smashing this Paul Stanley plan, Pete Townsend plan, you name it.
Yeah.
Everybody cool plan.
Who's the Pearl Jam? McCready. Yeah, McCready. I saw him smash the guitar.
I saw Kurt Cobain smash one.
Yeah,
Oh,
more
Kurt
than
Cobain
one.
all the time.
Yeah, all the
Smashing
time.
it.
Yeah.
He used to smash like Japanese fenders and stuff. It's like, what are you doing? Those aren't
I was
$50.
trying to make a point.
That's trying to make a point.
He had no point, but he made it anyway.
He made it. Whatever it was, he made it.
Yeah, so no, I saw you. I watched that show. What I got a bang out of you smashing a guitar was like I saw you smashing a guitar, and I'm going, okay, I get it, and then I watched what's her name who was emceeing
Oh, Jenny.
Jenny.
Yeah, yeah.
And Jenny was totally freaked out.
And I told her it was gonna happen, and she was still just like,
She was totally freaked out. You can hear her on the, and I'm going like, wow, she really got upset. Poor girl. As it
because I thought maybe I won't tell them. That'll be fun. And I went, no, that's too.
No, it's good that you warned me, because when I saw the Who, I've seen the Who twice.
Yep.
But when I saw, well, more twice, some 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 times.
Okay.
But the second time I saw them was about 68, 69.
Okay.
And they warned people before they went on stage to play.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Before they actually played
They
the whole
would-
show.
Really?
They said.
And that was in '68.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you're smart, you take 5 steps back.
Yeah.
And if something comes flying, you've been warned, right?
Yeah.
Like it was kind of like that. It was kind of like that. It was kind of like, don't get too close, right?
Of course.
Happened
Yeah.
to Trump.
Got
Nobody warned him.
Oh yeah. But when Richie Blackmore, I don't know if you've seen the footage of Deep Purple at California Jam.
Oh, we talked about that last night too.
Yeah. So you're just having like Groundhog Day all
Yeah.
Richie, he did not tell anyone that he was going to blow his amps up, and he put too much gas in the back of the amp, or petrol, as he would have said, and then it blew. If you watch the video, it blows Ian Pace's glasses off of his face,
Whoa.
and he's permanently deaf in this.
That's why you don't talk anymore.
Friends
I'm sure.
off.
You know what's funny? That's like one of the reasons. That's not even the reason.
But Richie's quite a problem, right? I don't know if I told you, I met when I played the Whiskey one time, the first time we played the Whiskey.
Yeah. And this is what year?
Oh.
Ish.
Maybe 7, 8 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
And so the first time I played the Whiskey, I met this band called, if I remember the band, we played, one of the bands we played, there was a 3-band bill, and one of the bands I think was Black Velvet, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But anyways, the singer had played with Rainbow.
Oh yeah, okay, yep.
Okay, for a short period of time.
Huh.
And
His name was Ronnie James.
Yeah.
I would remember that.
Somehow you met him 7 or 8 years ago.
So I met
when
this-
he was not alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I met this guy, and he had told me, and the band was not bad. You know, they weren't like up to Whiskey standards. Like I didn't know why they even got me, because like you go play Whiskey, you better have your shit together.
Dude.
because everybody on that stage is like, been on that stage is. Like I said, like the night before we played like one time, a couple times, okay, who played here last night? Oh, Alice Cooper played last night. Well, okay. Okay, so now we
Didn't
have.
Motley Crue just do something there recently?
Yeah. And then like, so, or then like,
Kiss did something.
Yeah,
a couple
and then
years
like
ago,
the last time before that we played, Chicago played, and the night before that was Yes, and we're going like, holy motherfucker, like, you really, but you gotta come up for the show, because they expect that.
Yeah,
Whether
of course.
they don't care who you are, you want to come back here again, you better deliver, right?
Yeah.
And so you do have to like raise your bar, right? And it's really good for a band, it's really good for you and me and all of us to get up to that level, because then okay, I can do this. You gain a lot of confidence too.
Yeah.
A lot of confidence. But story short, band wasn't ready for that yet. I don't know how they did the gig. They probably got the gig because the guy singing was pretty good, but he had not sang in a long time.
Right.
And so his pipes are a little rusty.
Yeah.
He
Those
also-
muscles get weak pretty quickly if you don't.
Well, I almost had a
That
job.
Ivanhoe pipes.
Yeah.
Dirty pipes. Dirty pipes
Yeah.
at the Ivanhoe, man.
Yeah. That's the truth. And so he kind of like, but he was a nice guy. So I said to him, he says, oh yeah, long story short, I sang in Rainbow. I got the audition because he said I just finished, almost got the job with Jefferson Starship, and he said, and then Mickey Thomas beat me out, of course, and he said, so then Rainbow came along, and his organization heard that I was a good singer, and I says, oh good. So he says, Joe, what a nightmare. And I says, why? He says, so Richie flew me and this guitar player over, that second guitar player over, and they lived in Richie's garage.
Yeah.
And it was freezing cold,
Ugh.
no heat.
In England?
Yeah, in England.
Okay, because he had Rainbow all moved to Connecticut at one point too, so he could have been there as well. I
But
guess
this was in England, so he flew. He paid for their flight over.
yeah.
They thought, great, but we're gonna have a nice hotel. We're gonna get.
I don't know if I can eat this much caviar.
Yeah, exactly, right. You know, like we made it, sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
No, he said, fuck. We lived in the garage, 2 cots. He said, fucking food was fucking minimal. We had to go and get our own food. He said, treated us like shit in the rehearsals. He said, I lasted a week and a half, and the
Whoa.
guitar player and me looked at each other and said, this is not fucking worth it.
Week and a half's pretty good.
And he said, we had to phone home to our families and get us the flight money,
Wow.
because we didn't have it. He wouldn't give us money to go home, and we fucking went home. And I said,
I'm just
and
gonna
he
go
says-
on a limb here and say that weird fucking hat is a sign. That's a red flag. Man. That weird 18.
I like the hat, but I agree.
You know what's coming.
It's got a buckle. He's a pilgrim.
Yeah.
Witchcraft.
Exactly.
It's coming.
And so I actually saw Rainbow in England about 2016, 8 years ago?
Yeah.
And I was there for, Brexit was 2 days beforehand, just to put it in historical context. So he was in a very smiley, good mood then, so
Yeah.
maybe he's calmed down with age, I don't know. People are complicated, all these things. Richie is, and Richie's even more complicated than most people.
He's
So.
probably really, you know what? He's probably very eccentric for sure.
Absolutely.
Because like he's in the category of all those great guitar players. I mean, you know what I mean? He's up there with that
Jeff
group
Beck
of people, right?
Yeah.
You know, Jeff Beck. He's in that
He's in that little,
that little club of guys that are really got that niche about them.
And it was a scene too, like there was this kind of
They
Jeff
were
Beck,
homies, yeah.
and they were session guys and all
Yeah,
that stuff, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but the thing, like I've heard every story about Richie, and I'm sure a lot of them are true. But when I saw him, he was like handing out red Solo cups full of beer to the front row of the show that I saw. So it's like he's not all bad. He's and he has good days and bad days, and he's predictably unpredictable and all these things.
Well, plus he's playing.
Predictably unpredictable.
Yeah.
Plus, he's playing in a band, like we said, like you go all the way back to the ferry boats, you know, you play in a band and shit happens. Some people get along, some people don't. Some people get along for a long time, then they don't get along anymore. Like it changes, right?
Yeah.
Bands are kind of evolutionary.
And it changes you, and it changes like how you work with other people. And again, when the band's called Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, it makes you behave a little differently.
I played
It's
one.
cool though, you know what you just said, and then that's how music changes too, man. That's why. Well, I mean, comes. I mean, that's why we get what we get.
Yeah.
Or the great things. That
I
we
played
get.
once with.
Who do you like? Who's fresh?
Fresh.
Oh,
Yeah.
good idea. That's a good
Ooh,
one.
fresh. I gotta think about that. I like. It's kind of a hard question to answer. Who's fresh that I like?
There's not a lot around, is there?
That's the thing.
How about like Jack White? Do you like Jack?
I love Jack White, but again, Jack White's
He's
20
years old.
Yeah, White. I saw the White Stripes twice, and it was awesome.
But I mean, Jack White, he's got a brand new album out.
Which I haven't heard yet.
It's really good.
Okay, I got you.
It's really good. It's retro sounding.
Cool.
He's back.
All the stuff's retro sounding.
Yeah,
so-
but it's gone back to where he was.
Oh.
Or that new Cure.
Yeah,
album.
yeah.
Did you hear that new Cure?
No, I haven't heard that either.
So no, I like Jack because I think he's relevant even though he's been 20 years ago.
Yes, true.
Because right now he's got an album that's doing really well.
Well, he feels current.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, in
I
his
think that's a
own
good-
niche, anachronistic
That's what
way.
I meant about watching you guys.
Right.
You guys have that retro sound, but you sound current.
Right, Jack White's perfect. Right. He's
Yeah.
certainly not an old Chicago blues man.
No, and he's not like
those are-
dressing like.
but
I mean,
those
he
are-
kind of is dressing.
Kind of he is.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
those are the
That
riffs.
exactly.
Those are kind of the riffs, but they don't
Sure.
sound like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's great. Yeah, again, I saw the White Stripes when they were. I think it was like the Elephant tour, and then I saw them on the. So it was like 2006, I want to say, or 5 or whatever. And I saw them on the Icky Thump tour, which I think was basically the last one.
I mean, there's not a lot of bands out there that I can relate to right now too. I mean, Patty and I, who's in my band, Patty and I have talked about that. You know, like current players, because she asked me recently. She says, I watch the station that Stingray station loud, so I watch that for current too. I watch it for both, just to see what to get a vibe on. A lot of the bands are like what Brice is doing now is they have roots in the classic people artists
Big
that
riffs,
we know.
yeah.
Yes, and so they bring that forth, but with a new switch to
He
Twitch.
just can't stop. He just can't stop.
That wasn't planned.
Really, they bring a new twitch to it. There's saints and sinners.
Speaking of Twitch, yeah, yeah.
Talking about Brice, folks.
We can talk about whatever we want to talk about. Actually, here's a current-ish act I like is a Ghost. They're like
I love that.
Yeah, I love Ghost. I saw
Who was
them.
he in before? That singer was in some like
Oh,
black metal band before that.
Yes, and I can't remember the name of
Yeah,
it, but
yes.
yes, yeah.
He's amazing.
He's a
He's
genius.
probably one of the best fucking rock singers. If he's watching, I went and saw the show at the Coliseum a couple years ago, and I've got to be honest.
I might have been there.
He was brilliant.
He was awesome. Yeah.
He blew my mind as a singer. I've seen, like I told you, I've seen in retro days,
Everybody.
seen Plant in his good days. I've seen
Yep.
Roger Daltrey in his good days. I've seen, Paul McCartney. I've seen all the great singers, rock singers that you can think of, and he is just as good as they are.
Yeah.
I'm
In his
not-
own totally different way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody. He didn't sing a fucking off. The thing is, I can tell when somebody's singing
Yeah.
off or not.
Sure.
And he did not sing off key. I had 2 drinks, and that's all I had.
Yeah.
And I was just like going, this guy hasn't sang flat once. Not only that, he's just like fucking on. And he was so ingrained in his show and knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, the band is incredible. The band, the musicians.
Whoever they might be,
Yeah,
because they're
unnamed.
unnamed, right? And they switch out a lot, I think, too.
I think
They
they're
do.
all- I
They
think
do.
there's a
They
lot
had
of
what's
black
his
metal
name?
guys in there,
What's
too.
her name
Yeah.
played? I heard what's her name was playing in the band. Oriana was playing in the band. for
Totally
a bit.
uncredited, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, I believe that. Yep.
Yeah, because she wears the mask and she
Yeah,
comes
right.
up. They bring shoot people in and out of that project.
And the
right?
great thing with that band is if you can't make the gig, who cares?
Yeah.
You just get someone else.
Yeah.
Put the mask on.
But then there's a mask and
Here's
he's got
Brice.
a
Brice.
somehow he's got a
So
big
Brice
top hat.
So Brice gets called in.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's free tickets for Ash and Joe. We know where that came from.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
right.
tell them anyone it's me. They won't let me. It's like the Blue Man Group, like Fred Armisen, who
Yes,
cast him
yeah.
at SNL. He was the drummer for the Blue Man Group, and no one knew that.
Oh.
So, yep, like for just a
They
little
are,
bit. Right?
but Ghost is like, talk about newish bands.
Yeah.
They are probably one of the best bands on the planet.
I bought their first album when it came out because a friend of mine was doing a music review thing at UVic for
Right.
their paper. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. He said like, it's Merciful Fate meets Blue Oyster Cult, which was true at the time. They've changed since then, but
Sure,
the first
yes.
album was very much like, I was like, that sounds amazing. I love Merciful Fate and I love Blue Oyster Cult.
Yes.
So listen to that and I was like,
And
I
they
still
do
love that.
sound, funny you say that. I never thought about that. They do sound like Blue Oyster
The
Cult.
vocals are
Yeah,
very Blue
and,
Oyster
and,
Cult.
and the way the guitars are mixed with the vocals
Yeah.
sometimes. You know what I mean? Like how they weave it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's so true. So, but the band is incredible.
Yep.
The show is like phenomenal.
Yep.
And I just haven't seen something that's a package deal like that.
See, when you saw them at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet all the stuff actually fit in there nicely. When I saw them, they had the same amount of stuff at Venue downtown.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was like the stage looked like claustrophobic, but it was cool to see because like you'd have the drum riser, you're like that's too tall, like it just doesn't work, but it looked awesome. So you're kind of looking up at the band almost like this in a weird way. Like this, I've never seen anything like that.
They're overproductive.
But in a weird way, it was so unique to see that. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
You guys
Yeah.
said Cannibal Corpse in this tiny place in Buffalo one
Nice.
time. Brutal, man. It was brutal.
One of
It's the
my
loudest, most painful
Yeah, it's
thing
like
I've
two
ever-
chains.
that was
dude.
probably when my buddy Colin was playing in the band. So,
Yeah. We talked about that. I
Yeah,
think-
Colin.
I think it
Oh,
was
wow.
around then,
Colin got the gig for them, and they did a European tour. He had like 5 minutes to learn the songs, and he was on the road for like 8 months in Europe.
well, if you can do blast beats,
He can't. He's unreal.
Yeah, so
he's
that's-
unreal at it.
you gotta have to sit down.
He's like, and he's a big guy, so he's like, he goes, Joe. But every show I was like,
Yeah.
you know. So, but like he did that. He played with them for like about, he said like 6-9 months, a year. Almost.
Wow.
Yeah, you
It's
know.
like a
he-
lifetime, really.
Yeah, exactly.
It was.
It's
He
a
said it was.
lifetime of beats.
He
That's
said,
all.
yeah, no shit. So when he played with us, it was easy.
Yeah,
because
right.
we didn't do as the show wasn't as long.
By comparison, it just felt like hitting a tom for, you know.
Yeah, but then again, when he recorded him, he put so many in. The producer says took a couple of the kick beats out because he said it was too much for the song. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And then Colin goes, "What the fuck is he doing here?" Colin, relax. He knows what he's doing. Back up, punt. Which So no, that's a band that funny you say that. That's a band.
Ghost, yep.
Yeah, I agree with you on
They're
that because
great.
we've talked about that before.
Yes.
But so with your band, are you going to do any more gigs with your original band? Any more gigs?
So when we play on Vancouver Island, it's always Brice Tabish band. So and
Yes.
then when we play over here, it's more like we just did 2 Lost Divas gigs this weekend. So we still keep both things active. And they're different shows, you know.
They are.
Yeah. So it's good. It's a lot of variety, right? You can go see whatever you want to see. So
I don't want to end the interview yet, but what's coming up?
What's coming up is this weekend we're playing.
You're back in town now.
Yeah, we're back for a little bit, and then we go back to the island on the 28th. So
See, there's tons of work.
yeah, we're just back and forth all the time. But
I know we're going to eventually end up over there because we're talking about that. There's, like I said, there's clubs where we're going like, fuck, we could be playing there.
yeah. But this weekend we're actually doing a private party, but we're also doing I gotta look at my phone.
Hey, how was that? Talking about that, how was that pig roast? You did a barbecue out in Mission, didn't you? Like it wasn't a pig, it was like a rotary one, right?
Yes, the Rib Fest.
How was that?
And actually, the funny thing is, we went to the island shortly after that and did another Rib Fest, and
they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. So that was great. I think that was
great.
Was that the first?
I hear nothing. There's one in Langley that it's all the
There's
Rotary,
one in
but it's all the Rotary clubs putting
Yes,
this on,
yes.
and they are brilliant.
Yeah.
They've got live entertainment all the time.
That's the thing.
I was going to ask you how that was.
It was awesome. It was really cool. It was great.
Ribs.
I didn't get around to it. By the time we stopped playing, it was shut down. So I was like, So
We're never coming back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get Richie Blackmore on the phone.
Yeah, he'll know what to do. We're playing Seymour's on Friday.
Oh, okay.
That's in North Van.
Yeah.
And I think it says here we start at 8. So we're doing that.
Bonnie and I go there all the time.
Oh, that's fun.
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, we're doing that, and then we're doing the Princeton on Sunday. That'll be fun.
Sunday the what?
The
Is
24th.
Sunday coming up?
The 24th. Yeah.
Oh, well, we're coming.
All right,
Yeah.
we're coming.
Yeah.
We'll come to that.
We'll
That's
bring
awesome.
we'll bring some dancers. We'll bring one for sure.
And then we're playing the Carnegie Center.
What?
Yeah, we do that all the time. That'll be 7 to 10. So, and then we're
Who
doing
goes to that?
the locals.
How is it?
It's fun actually. Everyone gets really into it, and it's really good vibes for sure. Yeah.
I worked down there for 20 years.
Where are you talking about?
The Carnegie Center.
Carnegie Center.
Oh!
Like Main and Hastings.
Inside the old building there.
Yep.
That is such a cool building.
It's a very cool
It's fucking
building.
wicked in
Yeah.
there.
I used to go in there when I was a kid, go down there, and that's when they had all the bugs. Talk about bugs.
Mhm.
They had like a whole one floor was like all insects and shit,
Oh.
just like this artwork,
Yeah.
all up there. And then the next one was paintings from BC artists and stuff. It was really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
It was very cool. You know what word would be cultural? It was.
That's a good word.
But educational. So like if you're a kid, you'd go down there and you go like walk up to
I
this
love it.
floor, walk
Yeah,
up to this
right.
floor, and you're going, there's something on every floor you
Mhm.
see. And the building itself is marble and it's just
Oh, it's-
beautiful.
It's
inside.
crazy in there, man.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad that it's
And then-
what's happening
Yeah.
down there.
Brice Tabish. Hey, look at that. In a bell jar.
Yeah, and so then the other thing is the Brice Tabish band is going to be doing a second album. We got I've got pre-production going on that right now, and
Good.
it's going to happen when it happens. I can't say I can't give you a date or anything
No,
like that.
no.
But I did just demo like 7 songs and
Wow.
just basic ideas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we're kind of in the towards the end of like the songwriting phase, which
Good.
I mostly handle myself, but then sort of bounce it off the other people. So it
Yeah,
kind
you're
of,
like me. We put a song together. Like if you were in my band, you would put something together and then bounce it off everybody, and then I would put something together and bounce it off.
but the bones would be there. And
yeah,
then,
just
and
the bones are there. Yeah.
And things like bass lines, I have ideas, but they change it as soon as Peggy plays them because it's just a different. And I think too busy sometimes, and sometimes she'll just do something really, brilliantly simple. And
Yeah. Well, she's good.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Peggy's gotten I think maybe 5-6 years ago, oh, Peggy's all right, and then now it's like, yeah, fucking.
Oh yeah.
Peggy's fucking amazing because she's been playing for such a while.
Just every
night in every place. Like I said that.
And she's playing between all those gigs too. So.
Yes,
Yep.
I told Ash. I says this girl started here, and now she's fucking up at this level.
Absolutely.
And I said when you walk in the door, Peggy's up there playing with you, and I'll be honest, people go like, Peggy's here, like, I go, yes, because the girl is, like, she's one of the best bass players in the town.
Absolutely.
I says, she's earned that stripe. There's no fucking way about it. She had to do it, like, when still the people would not accept that.
Yeah, right.
I'm serious. I mean, even in music, even women in band, music.
It's always been an uphill thing.
But it's always an uphill thing. And for
Yeah.
Peg, even in this city, in Vancouver, it was, oh yeah, Peggy, she's okay. She's all right.
Yeah, right.
She's a chick, right? It was kind of like that.
She's all right.
Yeah, and now
Yeah.
you go, fuck that. Peggy's
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
really, fucking Peggy's really good. You fucking knock her, I'm gonna kick your ass for saying that because Peggy's good. She is really good. I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that. Like I said before, these guys keep playing all the time.
Yep.
You can only get better the more you play.
100%.
That's all you can do, right? I mean, if you live it all the time and you do it all the time, you're going to be really good at it, right?
Yeah.
Then you don't have to worry about what other people think. Who cares?
And you can practice till you're blue in the face, but I think being on stage is like the best practice. Yeah. Not that you shouldn't practice between the gigs. I'm just saying doing the gigs will absolutely give you.
That's why like when I was talking to you before, that's why we do my two bands, we do streaming all the time.
Yeah.
And the reason why we do it is because we don't always go out and look for a lot of gigs. So when we go on that stage at Pandora's in the big room, we're doing a show.
Yes, that's right. I've seen it many a time.
We do run a set.
Yeah.
We run the show and we treat it like, hey, you're there, we're here.
Yeah.
And
when you watch those, you get the sense that there's an actual crowd behind the camera.
Yeah. And what we're doing is like a live rehearsal for us. But it's Bonnie one day.
But you're all facing out like you would on stage. Yes.
Yeah, like Bonnie's like, she says, I was watching rehearsal and I just said, it's not a rehearsal.
Yeah.
Get
her out of here. Yeah.
it's a live stream. We're actually playing.
Yeah.
Because if you would have listened to the rehearsal, you would have went like, fuck, I'm turning it off. Right?
I have seen some of your rehearsals, and those are cool too.
Yeah.
Like watching guys put a song together. Like you understand it, we understand.
Oh,
it.
we do that
People
too.
don't-
We do little
I know,
tapes
I've
like
seen
that
them.
and
Those
stick them
are cool,
up.
man.
Where like Paul and I wrote a song and let's film it, and then we film. Paul and I we do like a verse and a half.
Yep.
And then we go, you don't get no more. Then we stick it up on TikTok and it gets 500 views.
That's great.
And you get 500 people to see what we're starting to create. So next time when they watch the actual stream, the song's completed, they get to see the song done.
Yeah.
But my point is, it's not about that. My point is that if we're not out fishing for gigs, we are
You have
basically.
other avenues.
Yeah. And that's how we started. I wanted to think, how can we just instead of just running the set in a rehearsal, why don't we do it in front of as many people as we fucking can?
Mm-hmm.
And that way we get tighter.
Right.
Just like you do every show a lot, you do a lot of gigs. We are doing it. I'm trying to. I agree with you 100%. The more you do that, the better you play. The better you get. The more gig. The more gig. I would call it gig ready. The
That's
more
good.
gig ready you are,
I like that.
the better off we all
I
are.
didn't understand it. I talked to Joe about it. I did. I didn't understand it. And then in the barbershop, I mean, you guys can't see it. It's a barbershop. It's not
it's
huge.
a barbershop.
It really
It's
is.
it's a real barbershop. And we just moved the red couch out of the way. Saints and Sinners sat up here. pardon me, played a set. There was like 20 or 30 people. There were people outside of it. It was like little much
A little foot
vibe,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
It was pretty
through
dope.
the windows with the signs.
And there were some of us down here, and like all of
Protest.
our, like Lauren and Kelly and Bonnie, obviously, and all
Yeah.
our friends were here, and it was great. It was super fun. And then okay, pack it up and blah blah blah. And then the next day I was like, dude, sorry, I don't know. Maybe I didn't advertise that. And Joe's like, what? What are you talking about? I was like, I don't know. Maybe there was 40 people who saw that. And he said, I don't care. 2,000 people watched that stream.
Exactly.
And that was the day I realized.
See how we look at it?
That was right. That was
How you
that
look
was
at
Saints and Sinners playing the Commodore in the barber shop.
Yes,
And
that's
level.
how we look at it. We look at it.
Well,
like,
that's how
we
I
look
see
at
it
it like
now,
this.
too,
Like
man.
if we get 1,000 people, you play the Commodore.
Yeah.
Because 900 is the Commodore. If you get 2,000, you just sold out. Oh, 3,000 is the Queenie. So 2,000 almost sold out the Queenie. So like when we're at about 3,000 on some shows now. So we sold out the Queenie today. So we look at it like the tough part, to be quite honest with everybody here, is so how does that generate in live numbers?
Yeah. How does that?
Yeah.
That's
Transfer
the real,
over,
transfer. It transfers over when you surpass the venue that you've done, because I've seen that happen. So like if we play at the Roxy and there's nobody there on a Wednesday night, no offense, there's nobody there on a Wednesday night
Yeah.
in the beginning of the night when we're playing, because that happens. But the venue looks great, it sounds great.
Mhm.
They love that we
Yeah,
play
that
there
great
because they know the
backline.
numbers we bring in online.
Yeah.
They've told us, they said, this is great advertising, it's free.
They see the potential in it.
Yes.
Even when there's like it's that thing where venues like. If like the second there's like a dead night, they're just like, what happened? And like, well, I can't believe I put all this, you know what I mean? Like, they don't see the long game or the big
They don't
picture.
see the long game.
Yeah.
And so when we do that, and we get like, I bring the Roxy because our numbers go through the roof with the Roxy, just because it looks good and sounds good.
You guys
Yep.
look and sound good.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's how it looks, right?
Yeah.
It comes across really well. So the numbers go up, and so what I'm trying to say is, in the long run, so your numbers are up, and then you go, okay, so how high are they past the Commodore? So if you get like another extra 1,000, and I know this because we'll go play the Princeton, for instance,
Yep.
locally, and
What day are you playing the Princeton?
December 14th.
You know what day are you playing?
24th of November.
24th.
Next Sunday.
So like when you play that, we do that, then we go play there, for instance. I get another like maybe 50 people coming to that
Easy.
small bar,
Yeah.
and who've seen us there, and they go, we just saw you last night, a couple nights ago over there. We came because we saw you live. Going, wow, okay, this is adding up.
Yeah.
So it changes the game. I don't know how much it changes the game.
And I bet that or for me anyway, it builds a sense of intimacy too. Like see these guys, or I watch everyone because I'm subscribed or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
we just
they're
we just
there.
add you. That's what happens.
Oh yeah, listen to that. Listen to Patty, kill it there. Oh, Emily, listen to that note.
Yeah.
And I'm, and I love it.
Starts
And
to
then,
take off.
and then in real life,
Yeah.
or in the Bonnie's backyard, or in the barber shop, or whatever, it's
It's fun. Yeah.
Do you
it's
ever-
a wild thing, and that's a different thing
And then
too.
he was doing. Brice was
Aside
doing
from
that.
your guys,
Yeah.
like that, or our guys too, we didn't know what Mountain was doing in practice, or
No, exactly.
you know what I mean,
or cream or whatever. Yep.
sure, or
Yep.
whoever it is, right?
Yeah.
That was the mystique back then, though. That was the cool thing about back then.
Well,
Yeah.
of course.
When MTV came in, it fucked everything. And funny you go.
Well, we
this
got
is
Duran
around. This is
Duran.
around. This is around. Yeah, but that was a problem back then. So even the first time I watched MTV
Yep.
was at Campbell River at People's, and they had the big screen
That
coming
must have
down.
been 1983.
Yeah,
Yep.
and he put it on, and I looked, and you know what? And I said to my guys in the band, I says, "We're in trouble." and he went to me. He looked at, and the guys in my band said, "Why?" I says, "Not right now, but in the next 5 to 6 years, we're in huge trouble." And he goes, "Why?" I says, "Because now people can go watch that on their house. They don't have to come down to the bar." And they
Oh,
can
yeah.
drink and party at home,
Right,
and
right.
then go to the bar and not spend as much money. Because even back then, people would still try to save money, right? You know,
Of course.
they didn't want to, even when costs were lower back then compared to now, but people would still look at that. And I said the minute MTV, I mean, there's upside to it, sure.
Yeah.
But the downside of it for musicians and bars was that or any kind of live gig was that now you didn't have to do that, right?
But the thing with that is that like that was true in the short term because it was so novel and it was so new. Like
Yes.
I'm gonna quote David Lee Roth really quick.
Yeah.
He said when MTV is when something like MTV comes out, it's novel and it's brand new and it's exciting, and then ultimately you start watching it and you become more and more selective, and then ultimately you wind up with a radio.
Yeah.
It's like once the novelty wears off, what you said six or 7 years.
You end up
That's
with
pretty much
fucking ridiculousness.
Absolutely.
That's how it
Well,
ended
funny
up.
he
And
said,
every video looked the same by the end of the 80s.
Yeah.
and funny you say exactly.
Yeah.
And funny you say that. So I saw talk about people like that. So Jim Morrison once said, I saw an interview. You can catch this interview.
Yep.
I think it was at the University of Montreal or Toronto when they played like at the university, and so they had all the big cameras and they're filming them live. And Jim Morrison, they interviewed Jim separately for a minute, and this was around the 70s. So this is towards before he died and all the shit that was happening. He says they asked him, he says, what's the future of rock and roll? And he says, one man on stage playing it all by himself. And this was way before any of that shit was
Yeah, right.
Decades.
Decades
Yeah,
before. And I was just like, when I saw that and I looked down, I went,
Then you just started looking for it everywhere you
then I
went.
went like, is this guy is he fucking ashamed
From
of
the
it?
future?
Yeah, is he really that smart? How did he fucking figure that out?
Right.
Because like the guy was fucking on the interview. He was loaded.
Fuck
You know, he
yeah,
was shit-faced.
He's right, obviously.
Yeah.
But then there's a massive fucking kickback on that. And
Yeah,
people
yeah.
don't want that.
Like with everything,
I
it's a
love Thomas
pendulum.
Dolby as much as the next guy.
Yep.
Yes.
I
Yes.
far much.
Yeah.
I'd rather go see you guys or Graham Brown or whoever.
Graham
Yeah.
Brown's awesome.
Yeah.
I saw.
He is. He's great.
Yeah.
He's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good gig.
And I like that keyboard player of his too.
You got. Rob.
Yeah, Rob.
You know what? Rob, if you're out there, Rob's a monster.
Absolutely, he is.
He is probably one of the best. How can I put this? When I watched him with Graham and I watched him with you guys.
Yeah.
He's a dual threat, a triple threat, because he can fucking sing like a bird.
Yep.
He plays guitar
And he's
really
big.
well, and he plays keyboards
Oh,
amazingly.
oh.
And no, he's just no. But this guy is like a triple fucking threat.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is absolutely.
He is like
Real Katy Perry.
fuck. He's beyond Katy Perry.
Just kidding.
No,
And he can
no,
two-step
he
like
said-
nobody's
he
business.
did-
Make a
Him and
stew
Graham
like
sat
you've
here.
never done.
Graham and him sat here, and we interviewed them, and they sang and played.
Yeah, it was
Because
incredible.
next time we're gonna bring you back, bring your guitar,
Sure.
and you sing and play.
That would
and,
be
and you know what? We'll bring you with Graham. We should get
Sure.
the three of them.
And
that
Rob.
would be yeah,
That would
and
be
Rob the three
wicked.
together.
Yeah,
And fucking Rob picked harmonies out of the air because Graham wrote a song
On the way here.
on the way
No
here.
way.
And in the seat.
It was fucking crazy, and Rob just, yep. He's on it, man.
I've never seen Rob be like, whoa.
was
He just
not-
goes, yeah.
He was
got it,
not
yeah.
thrown.
He's never like,
He was
what
not
you doing?
thrown.
No.
He
No.
was not thrown.
No.
He picked the third
He was
out.
like melted Velveeta.
he picked the fucking third to the harmony line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right out of the air.
Absolutely.
Like right out of the air. And like I can do that shit, but
I didn't know
I
that.
have to think about where the third is because I'm mainly a lead singer. But I in the studio I'm fine. I can pick the third,
Yeah.
when I'm recording I'm pretty good. But like live it takes me a few seconds more. But like I was like going, holy motherfucker. And Ash and I are just looking at each other
Yeah.
going,
And the
Like,
next day when we were talking about
Yeah.
it too,
Yeah.
it was
He's
staggering.
amazing.
Amazing. And
Amazing.
sweetest dudes, man.
yeah, they are. Yeah, and Graham's like I didn't know he's a junior dinosaur, right?
Oh yeah, Johnny
Oh.
Dinosaur Jr.
Did you know that?
No, I had no idea.
That's
Yeah.
where
What?
that's how he came here.
What? Crazy.
Yeah.
I got more questions, but I don't think we have time to go through all those.
No, we don't. But LA.
Yeah.
In LA.
Wow.
What's his name's record?
Oh fuck! Some of his stories. Dude.
Yeah, but what's his name?
Some of his stories. When we turn these cameras off, some of his stories.
Yeah.
Oi!
Yeah.
What's that record?
Thank you, LAPD.
I bit my tongue on a few stories since we started this, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. He was with them, and he was signed to what's his Graffin Records, whatever. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. David Geffen.
Yeah, David Geffen.
David Geffen. He was signed to him.
Yep.
And he's also played. Did he tell you he played the Cavern in Liverpool?
I heard that. Yes.
Yes.
That's very
yeah, but
cool.
he was signed to David Geffen. Yeah.
Wow.
So fucking.
So David Geffen's
Gary
party
Brown
for
has
the
been
next
around.
level.
Let's put it this way: Gary Brown's been around.
Dude.
Yes.
Dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I guess so. I remember you when you were doing the jams down here.
The press box.
Yeah,
Yep.
the press box.
For years.
The
Yeah.
press box, baby.
Remember, what's his
Yeah.
name? Another guy that was wild, the keyboard guy played with.
Dave Stone?
Dave Stone.
Yeah. I was going to say when you were talking about Richie, get him on the show and get him to tell you stories because
He know more because he was with them right in the beginning, wasn't he?
he was there for so as a
This
Rainbow
guy-
historian, I'm a huge Rainbow fan. It sounds like
Oh.
Dave Stone joined for the third album, which is Long Live Rock and Roll, because Tony Carey was Tony Carey had hits
Yes.
after he left Rainbow.
Yeah.
But it was Tony Carey on keyboards for Rainbow Rising, and then Dave came in for the third album, which I think is the best lineup that band ever had, and Dave just had. God, he really came in at the right time because you had Bob Daisley, you had Brian James Dio, you had Cozy Powell on drums.
Cozy Powell. Wow. Cozy Powell plays with everybody.
Yeah. I went through my record collection just looking for all the albums I have of Cozy's, like that he played on. Jeff Beck Group.
Airplane.
Michael Schenker Group.
Yeah, Jefferson Starship.
Yeah.
Everything. He's played with everybody.
And if Whitesnake even.
Whitesnake, yeah.
Black Sabbath, I've got all the he did 3 of those. And,
yes.
One of those were
Cozy
huge
Powell
hits.
is an amazing drummer.
But and Rainbow, honestly, he was in Sabbath for 3 albums. It was Headless Cross, and then it was the one after Tear.
I lost them a little bit.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't follow Sabbath. I love every year of Sabbath, but
I love
Sabbath, but you know what I mean.
yeah. And then he was on Forbidden, which no one likes. I like it, but no one likes it. It's not a popular one.
We were talking about that last and then we were talking about. What were we talking about here? About
Dave Stone and Rainbow.
Dave Stone.
Yep.
Well, Dave Stone's fucking amazing.
He's a really great. We drove down
He's
to.
a good guitar player. He's a good guitar player too.
Yep.
He's another guy like Rob. He can play wicked guitar.
Yep.
He can sing good. He sings. I watched him sing some harmonies.
Yeah.
Because he came up to me once when we were doing the jam. He goes, I would play with you in your band, right? And I'm going like, okay, but I went, yeah, I'm not gonna say what. And I kind of went, but I said, I'm thinking. I am itchy because I'm thinking this guy. I was every time I saw him at the jams, I was impressed. I was just going, this guy is really fucking good, like so good that it's a shame that he's not, went fucking high up the ladder.
Because we haven't even mentioned Max Webster. That's another thing. That's an important
It's
part
all
of his history.
over, hangover, about loaded.
Yeah.
But yeah, the
Almost no one remembers Max Webster.
it's a shame. I saw Kim Mitchell a few times. We were playing. I was playing with must have been no. It was I was with another band, and we were on the.
He played Niagara Falls when he still had his cool hair.
Right. we played Canafest. It was years ago. It was another band. I just did a one-off with it. Jeff Neal was in it, and Mark LaFrance was in it. So. It was us, yeah. So we did that one show, and but Kim was headlining that night, and God, he was good. And he did this like monster Kit Max Webster medley in the middle, and like High Class and Borrowed Shoes, and all that stuff. Just so good. He was great. And then I was watching it from side stage, and so he runs off after his like fake last song before the encore, and he runs off the stage and he just does laps in the, like by the monitor board, and then he never stopped, and then he runs right
Was he
back up
wearing
there.
a stretchy one piece?
You know what?
Please say he was.
I think he was.
He was.
I think he was.
He was wearing the stretchy one piece.
I'm only mixed up because I did another festival where he played as well in Saskatchewan, and I think he didn't that time.
Cargo shorts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it was hot. But yeah, yeah, that was pretty. That was pretty. And then, yeah, God, he was. Kim Mitchell's great.
It was good.
There's a lot of great Canadian music.
Oh, I mean,
Prism.
Rush, Prism. I mean, I've done.
Well,
with
Prism, we got Al Harlow coming here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Because
That
I
was
mean,
great.
but with playing with Lee Aaron every so often.
Yes, you do.
I've
You play
played
Metal Queen,
a
like
million
all that
shows.
stuff?
Say it again.
Like all that Metal Queen stuff. Do you play?
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff?
It's all that stuff. It's you
And
know.
she was just jazz straight. Like when she was at the
Railway.
hotel Georgia, I was thinking in that downstairs.
That was when she was in that phase.
We
yeah.
did one
She was
song.
only doing jazz and.
We played Victoria or Sydney, and we did one of those songs in that set. But everything else we've done has been just straight up the rock stuff.
stuff.
And her new rock albums.
She's got a great new rock album.
Absolutely. But it seems like every year she's got a new one.
I saw I caught one of the videos and then on Loud, and I was watching it. It was good. It was really good. See, she's another one who sings.
She's not a screamer. She's a
You
singer.
know
That's
what?
right.
You know what? Not only but though she's like I mentioned this before. She's like Roger Daltrey.
Yeah,
She's like all these really.
Like Darby Mills, I love.
Yep.
Screamer though.
Mhm.
Fucking screamer.
But Darby can really sing differently too.
That's true.
She's got a brand new project where it's all cover stuff, and it's like classic stuff.
I bet she can.
And
do
it's
it,
really
so.
good. Like no, she nails it because she's tired of doing all that other
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That's
I've interviewed
Fuck,
her.
that
Darby's
stuff's
really
cool as shit though.
yeah, but she can still fucking do it if she wants to.
Yeah.
But it's hard, because you're going like. See, what I'm trying to say is like Lee's smart because she's doing like what Roger Daltrey does or some of the other singers where they lower the keys or they sing styles of songs that are not going to kill them
Yeah.
and stretch them out too far
Right.
and leave them to hang, right? You know, like we were saying, Paul McCartney won't do that. That's why Paulson has
Brings
really good
everything
nights
down a little.
or has bad nights
But
because
everyone has good nights and bad nights. That's
I know,
Whether
I
you're
know.
Paul
Not
McCartney or
joke, only good.
But Paul McCartney, I mean, like, he's one of my idols. So, but
I love
like,
Paul.
I love Paul too.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but like, he won't lower the key, and I keep thinking, fuck, Paul, you could still do a good job. I watched Roger Daltrey do it. He lowered
But he
the
doesn't.
key.
But does he lower the keys? 'Cause
Yes.
when I saw him, they were doing everything in the original
No,
key. Okay,
no.
okay.
Last time I saw him, he changed the keys.
Okay.
And I was impressed because he sang like a bird.
Yeah.
And I was like, and even like Pete Townsend said, like, look at Roger tonight, right? And I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
went like, and I knew they lowered the key in this song, that song, and I just went like, what a smart move.
Yeah.
Like it didn't hurt the song. It just made him sound so much better.
Yes.
As a singer, he could deliver it. And Lee does the same thing. Her songs that she's writing and picking, she's smart.
Yeah.
right?
When I play with her, it's always everything's in the original key.
Yeah. But I mean, the new songs. That's what I'm talking about.
That too. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
everything's
what
in the
I'm
album
talking-
key. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's in, but it's not. It's not.
But she's picking. I know what you're saying. She's constructing melodies that are more sustainable and more all that stuff. It's
so it makes her a better singer, right?
yes.
I mean, I watched this summer at the P&E. I watched Nick Gilder sing. Nick did the same thing.
Yep.
I gotta be honest. I thought it would suck, because he's so high. His range is so high when he was young.
But he was like high and light, which is really hard to do.
Yeah.
It's one thing to scream in high registers,
Yeah.
but to really control it, like
Yes.
you know. And,
So he lowered some of the keys.
okay.
Hot child.
Not that low. Not that low.
Old Man River.
No, he didn't do that.
No, you didn't do that one.
But what he did was he did it in the key, a key that would, like, you go, wasn't that much, maybe half a tone, half a step, right? Half a step.
You can get away with half a step.
That's what
that
he did.
always sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, he did like a half step on a
Yeah.
bunch of shit, and I was just like, that's pretty good. Like, like pretty damn fucking good. But the thing with him, just before we move on, the thing with that guy, I didn't realize how many hits he wrote.
Oh God,
He's so
like,
fucking creative.
He's like the Foreigner of Canada in the sense that you're just like
We've got enough foreigners. Is that what you mean?
I know. The band
That'd be
Foreigner with Lou Gramm and those guys.
Lou Gramm and Trump's America. You heard it here first.
The band Foreigner. I can't stress that enough.
album
like
4.
that.
Only the album 4.
Exactly. but you're like, oh, they do that song, and oh, they do that song. Like if you go to see the show, you're like, they do this. Like it's one
Somebody
of those
gave
things.
me tickets to INXS at the PNE.
They're one of those bands too.
I love it.
Dude, I was like, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I love an excess. You know
Yeah,
what?
I ended up- I
just
had 2
became a
tickets, I
fan.
went by myself.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I just became a fan because they've been doing like when on the Stingray, they'll run like the through time sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And they run all their videos and stuff.
yeah.
And I was listening and I'm going like, I'm really starting to like these guys.
they're
I
fantastic.
hated them and no, I didn't hate them.
That was like
I
me and
wasn't a
Duran
huge-
Duran. I hated them.
wasn't a fan.
It's easy to like misidentify them in a weird way
Yes.
as
I
something
didn't want
else.
to listen
than they are.
to Duran Duran in high school because I didn't want to be.
I thought-
I didn't want to be homosexual.
They look kind of weird at times, yes.
But now I've got a girlfriend who's a woman. It's Bonnie, and I started to listen to Duran Duran.
A lot of women like Duran Duran.
Yeah.
No, I know, and it turns men into homosexuals. Well, it turns out it doesn't. It's just a really killer bass player.
Well, we're out of time. Yeah, I know.
We're never out of
So
time.
if Duran Duran, you
Welcome
watch
to the internet. We're sitting here until tomorrow.
Sorry.
I love Duran Duran.
Yeah.
It was Rio that did
I
it.
tell you right now, Brice and I will open up for you guys anytime.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll set the whole record straight on all this homosexual stuff that we're talking about. But
Well, we've seen the movie.
hey, let's
There's
talk
no
about something else.
homosexuality involved in that movie.
Hey, when I saw Whitesnake, they were doing stuff whole step down.
Yes.
And the other thing is
Did you see him at the
when he was doing the Deep
Casino?
Purple stuff.
Casino?
Casino.
Did you see him at the casino? I saw
I
him
did.
at the casino.
Yeah, he was doing half Deep Purple. It was because he was celebrating, I guess,
Yes.
some anniversary of Burn or something like that. And
I thought he did a great job.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
I
And-
thought once again, he said everything half step. I was really impressed.
Yeah.
I watched him from where Ash was. I was really close up.
It was like 10 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was
there.
watching him, and I'm going like, you know what?
It was one of the best shows I've ever seen. Ever.
And you know the guitar player?
Well,
was just hired.
Joel Hoekstra. It was his first tour with them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
first
yeah.
show. Was the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
show.
And now he's everywhere. I saw him at the.
Yeah.
We were just watching the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, the
Yes.
one from this year, and he was in the backup band for Cher, and
Okay.
he was floating around in the back there.
All right,
Yeah.
right.
It's like
Best show you've ever seen.
I loved Rainbow. That was just the experience of seeing Richie do those songs again.
Dio
for the
in
first
the
time.
band?
No, it wasn't Dio. I saw Dio too, and I met Dio as well when I was
Oh.
16. But he was
Dio's
with,
great.
when I saw him, it was with Black Sabbath. But,
Yes, Heaven and Hell.
and that was one of the best shows I've ever seen too.
Fucking Heaven and Hell is one of my favorite Black Sabbath albums. I don't care what anybody says. I
Same here.
love Ozzy. Don't get me wrong.
I saw Sabbath with
I
Ozzy
love
too.
You know they recorded Sabotage.
Huh?
You know they recorded Sabotage.
Yeah.
Boy,
Okay.
that's a great album.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the best of the original lineups.
Yeah.
Okay, but to answer your question, best show I ever saw probably was the first time I saw Sabbath with Dio. That was great.
Yes.
And that's coming from a guy who saw Sabbath with Dio one more time before Ronnie passed away, and then I saw Sabbath with Ozzy twice after that. So, and I
Yeah.
saw Ozzy solo twice. So,
I saw Ozzy the last time.
I saw Ozzy forget the words to Paranoid.
Poor Ozzy.
How do you forget
Pick on
those?
the old guy.
I
you know
love
what?
him.
The last time
he's got a teleprompter
You know
too.
that? Yes.
Oh, yeah, he sure did.
But,
Yeah,
but you know what? The last time I saw Ozzy was that last Black Sabbath tour that was here.
I was there.
What a wicked show.
Did you go crazy?
You know what?
You did go crazy, and we went crazy too.
You
Would
know
you
what?
go even crazier next time?
You know what? You know what? I thought, like I just said before, I thought Geezer Butler
Oh, God.
and
We
Tony
talked about-
Iommi.
We
Remember?
talked about this before, and fucking Sabbath, and all
Tony
my
Iommi.
friends, and all my punk friends, and all my fucking heavy metal buddies, and blah 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 blah. And what is it? Certainly, it's fucking Tony Iommi.
Tony
Bill
Iommi's a
Geezer,
fucking amazing. He's a god.
He is a good.
Bill fucking Ward.
Yeah, he should have been there for those
Yeah.
last
Dude,
tours.
and then what if it's not Bill Ward? And those drummers are fucking killer.
That young guy is really
Obviously,
good.
or
What's his
whoever.
name?
Tommy Clufidas.
Yeah,
but-
he's amazing.
Fucking
He's
Bill
amazing.
Ward, man.
No. I would have
That's
been.
what makes
but Bill,
it feel
could,
like.
But Bill couldn't do it. No, he's
No,
not.
I
think
dig
you're
it.
right. I
No,
think
I
you're
dig
right.
it. It's just the
I mean, look
the
at
sound
Ozzy.
and
Look
the
at Ozzy.
heartbeat of fucking
Oh, I
Sabbath.
know, I know that. But Ozzy, even Ozzy had a hard time in that show.
Yep.
And you could tell he wasn't well. But you know what I liked about him? he's like a little old man. He was like this, you know, hunched over all the time.
Yeah.
And he's doing this, and he's running like this, and he's waving. There's Ash, and he's waving at you, and you just start going like, how cute is that?
You know what?
It's a heavy show, and you're going, he's really cute, you know?
You know what's funny?
And you just love him.
Because
right?
he really gives it 110. And the thing is,
And he was
110%,
struggling,
yeah.
and he was struggling.
yes. But he really gives it his all every time. And the thing, someone said to me, I think it was my brother said this actually. He goes, you know why we love Ozzy? Because he looks like a guy, especially in more recent years, he looks like a guy who's like terrified to get up at a karaoke thing.
Yes.
And he looks like he's just like hanging on for dear life, and you're just rooting for him the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he's so sweet.
Yeah, and so it comes
before
through.
the curtain drew, I was right like this where the stage was, and the curtain was up, and he saw all of us in one section.
Yep.
He went all the way over from the center of the stage to the edge of the stage, and he went like this.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes like this, pointing at people, and he goes like this, and he's doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
And people are going nuts.
He
And I was going like, what a nice guy.
Absolutely.
Like he fucking could have just
He
stood
didn't
at
have to
the
do
front
that,
of the stage. He could have just been ready to rock. But no, he acted like a human being. He went over and said, hey guys, how are
Thank
y'all?
you, right?
Thank you.
Yeah,
And
good.
here, I love you, and you know, you love me back. And he was sharing that.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, fuck man, this guy is amazing. But the show was great. But like I said, fucking Tony Iommi, like I said, man,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
dude,
gained,
all
I
those
gained
guys.
so much
All
respect
those
for him
guys,
that
for
night.
sure.
Yeah.
I thought, like I told you, I repeat this again, but because Brice is here, he's a great guitar player. I just said, you know
Can you
what?
play it without fingers?
You got a knife?
We got a lot of sharp shit in the barbershop.
But yeah, no shit. Yeah.
Yeah, just these two.
Yeah,
he just
but-
leveled these off. Yeah.
Oh,
but
yeah.
no, right away I said I've seen Jimmy Page, I've seen Eric Clapton, I've seen like all these fucking great guitar players,
Yep.
Carl Santana, I've seen a lot of really top Jeff Beck, I've seen all these great
I never
guitar
saw
players.
Jeff Beck. That makes me very sad. But
Yeah, no, he was great.
Yeah, I love Jeff.
But I only saw him in like 6 years ago.
Okay.
I saw him 6 years ago for the first time.
Was that the Orpheum?
No, I was
Okay.
in Los Angeles, and I was at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh wow,
and he
that's right.
played with Rod
Rod
Stewart.
Stewart, that's right. Yes, and
And
they got together and they did
Yes,
all those old
and
songs.
only
Yeah.
did like six. He only did 6 songs with Rod.
It was like I Ain't Superstitious and all that stuff from Truth. I
Yes.
love Truth. That's one of the
yeah,
best
one of
albums.
my favorite albums. And so I got to watch that, drinking California wine. I tell you, California wine is fucking brilliant.
You are correct.
Yeah,
sir.
you
You are
mix it-
correct.
It's
You
like
mix
doing.
that with Sprite,
I
that's
tell you,
fine.
talk about drinking wine. Drink California red wine, and you're doing acid. I'm telling you. And it's just like you're going like. Nothing is going wrong.
Yeah.
The world's falling apart, and I'm drinking this wine, and because I tell you, I had like 1 glass of this red wine, and I'm watching Jeff Beck and Rod Stewart, and I'm going like, this stuff is really good.
You're like, am I dying? Like, is this like a
No,
heavenly
like,
vision?
I
Yeah.
never liked wine. Like I'm okay with it, I could drink it, but this stuff was.
Don't
like,
tell this guy
This
that.
stuff was like candy. This stuff's like candy. You go,
Oh, yeah.
You go boom, and I go, oh, it's nice and sweet.
Was it like Napa Valley wine?
Yes.
Yeah. I loved it.
Yeah, it was Napa Valley. Expensive as fuck, but like
Really?
Oh.
Oh, no, yeah. Because if you so,
Hollywood Bowl's expensive.
to cut you off for just a quick second,
Yeah.
a very dear friend of mine named Greg Sfarzo.
Mm.
I have an endorsement thing with him where, you know, a sponsorship, whatever you want to call it, or a brand ambassador, I think
Yeah,
they're calling
yes.
it now. For Sfarzo Strings was his company, and then he still got that going, but he also owns Black Diamond Strings, and so now
Okay,
I'm
cool,
a
cool.
part of that. No, so now I'm a part
Good,
of that whole thing.
good.
He used to, so he invited me to one of his annual like Sfarzo All-Star Jam Bash things. They would like get all the artists of that play Sfarzo Strings, and they would all do like a show, and they would play cover tunes. We were doing like UFO songs and Ozzy stuff. Yeah, I love UFO. Ozzy stuff and Sabbath and Van Halen and all these, right? And we all love the same music. It's the weirdest thing. Anyways, that was insane.
Really?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
strange that all
All us
upper level
guitar players.
players like all the upper level guitar players.
All the
That
guitar
is
focused
weird.
music. Yeah, that's very
strange.
Yeah, I guess when you put it that way, it doesn't sound that weird.
Yeah, you like the Spice Girls or nobody? No, nobody.
But the point of that was it was in Santa Rosa.
I
and
do
that's
the
where he
Spice
operates.
Girls.
But Santa Rosa, it was in Santa Rosa, and I was staying at Greg's place, and and Napa Valley wine in the Napa Valley is like $8 a bottle.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so if you're
It's
actually
not
in
cheap.
there, yeah.
No, but even that gig, I mean, even going to see that show, that was not a cheap show.
Right.
At Hollywood Bowl. But, you know, I mean, it's a Hollywood Bowl for fuck's sakes. I mean, I've been to 2 shows. I went there and I saw that one. And then one year we went down there with a bunch of people and we went and saw, we'd never been to Hollywood Bowl, right? So
I've never been there myself.
I got offered, I almost got a gig there once. And it was a really, really weird offer. We had to submit, you know, like a submission sheet. And it was playing at the Hollywood Bowl, but it was a competition. So for you to get anything, dog show, you know, guy dancing with a dog, but whatever. It was like variety show.
Chuck Barris shows up.
Yeah, whoever, right? Yeah, but you had to come down. You had to come down and play at the Hollywood Bowl, audition live. Then you would get put on one of their big shows.
Oh.
But we didn't get past the audition. But anyway, so I thought, you know, I still want to go down there, see a show. So one time I went with a bunch of friends. I'm not anti, but I'm not a huge Sheryl Crow fan. But I did.
Awesome.
But she is great songwriter.
Yep.
Went to the show. We went to the Hollywood Bowl and we went to see her. She was great. The show was great, sold out. It was like, once again, started drinking that California wine, but like it was a really good show.
Sounds like a lyric.
But
Drinking that California wine.
Yeah, but going to the Jeff Beck, going back to the Jeff Beck show.
Oh,
Roger.
drinking that California wine. Listen, boys, on a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair.
Wait, write this down before we forget. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
No, I hear you. So, but anyways, I mean, that was a good show. I mean, the Hollywood Bowl was very interesting.
yeah.
Like, you would like it. I know you like to see the right show there.
That's the thing. Yeah.
You know what's cool about there?
Yes.
You can go there, and at the front of the stage, the first like maybe 10 rows, they set tables up.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
you like us three could sit at a table.
You get like dinner at the.
Yes!
Yeah, that's hilarious.
It's not cheap.
No,
like
of
they
course.
bring you dinner.
Yep.
They bring you drinks, and you sit there and you fucking got these fucking whoever's up on that big stage.
That's so cool.
Playing for you, and then in the background you got the Hollywood Hills with the sign, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's just like iconic. It's just like you go like, fuck, I've reached Nirvana.
There's something funny though. I think about like the performers.
We all
like,
pull out handguns at the end of dinner.
nothing left to do at this point.
Yeah.
I think about the people on stage being like, I'm at the Hollywood Bowl and I'm still playing to people eating dinner, you know,
Yeah.
in the first few rows.
It's
or whatever.
weird, isn't it?
Yeah. It's very funny.
It's very funny, but like you can bring food in there. It's like very. Well, I guess one of my friends said, "This is very civilized." Right? One of my friends said, "This is so civil." You have drinking in the stands and you're eating and everybody's just listening to really good music. Like how like back then, Vancouver was just starting to be like that now.
Yes.
But it wasn't like 5, 6, 10 years ago. It wasn't like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when I saw Black Sabbath the first time with Ozzy, they were playing the Gorge.
Oh.
Have you seen a show there?
No, I've heard nothing but good things about the
Okay.
Gorge. Yeah.
It's the greatest venue
Yeah.
I could ever imagine in my life.
Yeah, it's really nice.
unbelievable. God, there's like a river flowing behind,
Yes.
and there's the Rocky Mountain. You know, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it sounds great too.
Yeah.
I heard it sounds really.
It's like our version of like Red Rocks or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, that sort
yes.
of thing. Yeah.
Yes.
In a
Yes.
different way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're doing. So getting back to you for
Yes,
a bit
yes.
here before we go.
Might as well say something about it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're gigging Sunday at the Princeton.
Yeah. Yep.
I think I'm gonna pop down there.
And Seymour is on Friday.
Seymour's on Friday.
Yep.
And
And what's
North Van.
at Main and Hastings?
Oh, that's Wednesday.
This Wednesday,
The 27th.
27th.
That's right. And that's sort of like our early Christmas bash. They wanted to do it obviously in December, but we were going to the island for December, so they sort of nudged it back to late November.
So where are you on the island so people can look at you on the island?
That's a good. Let's see.
So,
Okay.
yeah, real quick.
I've got. If you go to my website,
We'll
www.
link it.
Yeah, for sure. BriceTabish.com. All the island stuff is going to be there.
Okay.
And everything. It's already there right now. So, but just to give you a little, we're playing the whistle stop quite often,
Oh,
all the time.
I used to play the whistle stop.
Yeah, we did the last like 5 months there.
Courtney.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
Love
I
good
played
food in
there.
the pub.
I played there when I was like
Great-
14.
Great food in the pub.
Absolutely, and it's even better than it used to be.
I bet.
It is. Yep.
Really good food there.
I've been
Really
playing
good food at the Princeton.
at the and the Whistle Stop. Princeton and Whistle Stop. That's
yeah,
true. Yes,
both good.
Both are good. The Griffin Pub, that's in Comox. That's
Yeah.
on the 13th. I'm kind of going out of order here.
That's okay.
But yeah, it's all on the website. But just to give you a sense of it, we're doing the Flying Canoe. That's in Courtney. We're doing the Eagles in Campbell River. So yeah, it's all over the place. It's great. And we're doing New Year's Eve on at the Match Eatery Casino in Courtney.
Oh,
So that's our New
Good.
Year's Eve, and that's on a Tuesday, I think. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Big show.
Yeah, big New Year's Eve show. So.
So
'Cause-
lots of fun over there.
Oh, it's great.
Like I said, the island is starting to really change. Like I said, I went through
It's
that.
way different than when I was a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of grown. The music scene over there.
It's actually gotten better. That's the thing.
That's what I think.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think why that is because I think too that a lot of people in maybe Ash's and I age group are move over there.
Right.
Who like live music.
Like fucking guitars.
And
Yeah.
and it's weird. It's a weird concept, but you need people to play live music.
Yeah.
You need people
What?
to play. I know. Well, you know, I
No,
can
no.
show you the data, but
Yeah.
No, it's true.
yeah,
AI.
It's all about the people.
it's the people.
Of course.
It's the people.
Yeah.
It's all about the people. It's all about you people.
Out there, and this is Brice.
Thank you.
And check him out. And Sunday night, you can check us checking him out down at the Princeton.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
we'll
right.
bring the red love seat to the Princeton. Spoiler alert: we will not bring that.
It was nice to
And-
dangle that
And,
carrot.
and when you need a haircut, it's getting close to Christmas time.
Yeah, you want to
Ashley
look good or
said-
you want to look like us dirt bags? Come in, I'll make you look
I'm sure
all
your
right.
mom and dad will want you to cut your fucking hair, so get over there and get a nice haircut from Ash.
And then get a real job.
Peace
Thanks,
out,
guys.
everybody.
Thanks, guys. This is a lot of fun.
That was fun.
That was awesome. That was
Bye.